We always find it heartening when victims decide to step forward and speak out, because what they have to say is important. In our next case, a brave young girl decided to step forward and tell her own story of sexual assault. She didn't want to hide in the shadows. She wanted other girls her age to hear her message. Her family and teachers supported her decision, because it's a message that needs to be heard. You see, Emily is only 13 years old.
I read your statements for our group essay. I know it wasn't an easy assignment, so I wanted to tell you how much I appreciated your honesty. And that if anyone would like to talk about what they wrote, confidentially, of course, I'm here. All you have to do is come see me. Okay, now hurry up or you'll be late for your next class.
Unbelievable. Every time. The other way.
You'll be late, Emily.
Yes, sir.
Emily, that is a G natural. Okay? Now you play that better, love. Okay, let's take it from the entrance of the first violins. 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
May I be excused, please?
Sure. Emily, are you okay? Okay, first violins. You know where. On 1.
Mr. Gold?
Emily.
Mr. Gold, I wanted to talk to you about my essay. I'm the one who was sexually assaulted.
Emily tends to understand life more maturely than most other kids her age. Occasionally, we have an open forum at school where kids can get up in front of class and just talk about themselves and their lives and all the important issues that are affecting them. And Emily wanted to get up to talk about her experience. I was a little apprehensive to allow her to do that.
You told anyone about this?
Only Lauren. She's my best friend. She asked me where I had been the night before, so I told her I was at the police station, and I told her why. She couldn't believe it, Mr. Gold. That's why I wanted to talk about it.
Well, Emily, I don't know if it's really such a good idea for you to get up in front of class and talk about this.
Please, Mr. Gold. I wouldn't be asking you if I didn't think I could handle it.
Are you sure?
I want them to know it can happen to them. They need to know, so they can protect themselves. I didn't want people to react oddly. It was more just about feelings. I wanted people to know, just to know that it happens, and to people that you know.
All right, quiet down. I know you'll all be disappointed, but we're going to take a little time out from cell structure today because one of your classmates has volunteered to discuss her statement for the group essay. She has something important to share with you. Emily.
I don't think I used to believe it could really happen to me. I sure wasn't thinking about it that day. Ian and I had been to the basketball. I was just glad to tell them. We had won. I was walking home, and a guy stopped me and asked me if I knew where some street was.
Excuse me, do you know where Barrel Street is?
I don't know.
I can hear it.
I don't know.
Do you see this? You don't scream and you won't get hurt.
And when he pulled out the gun, I got really scared. He told me to be quiet or else he'd have to knock me out. So I did. I was quiet. And then he told me to go into a little back entrance to a garden.
I need some money to get home. You got some money?
When he asked for all my money, I was very, very scared. And I was just generally scared throughout the whole thing. Don't do that!
Shut up! I'll knock you out. Take off your pants. I'm gonna tell you what it's all about. Do it!
The class didn't ask any questions. I didn't actually tell most of it. I just kind of gave them the general idea as to what had happened. He gave me 3 choices. I guess I'm lucky he didn't force me to have intercourse with him. It could have been worse. I was scared, so I did everything he told me to do. While it was happening, it was like I wasn't even there. It was like I was watching a movie or something. Afterward, when he put my pants a little ways away, he said, I'm going to put your pants here, so I'll have time to get away before you can put your pants on and leave. I was scared enough to cry, but I didn't want to cry because I didn't want to be a total wreck. Well, I ran up and put on my pants, and then after a second, I looked out and I couldn't see him anywhere, so I went to the nearest house. Can you please help me? I need a phone.
I was just angry that in this country there's a lot of talk about rights, and it's a country that allows people so much freedom, and the whole concept of the United States revolves around personal freedom and so on, and yet my daughter didn't have the freedom to walk home from school.
I wanted you to know about this because we all need to be more careful. It's not like it just happens to other people. I know, because it happened to me. I agreed to have my story told on America's Most Wanted because I wanted to catch the guy. It happens to a lot of girls. I don't see why I should feel ashamed of anything.
Thank you, Emily. That was very brave.
After the assault, Emily identified her attacker in a photo lineup. Police charged a man named Richard Johnson with sexual assault, but he skipped town. Friends describe Johnson as having a high-pitched, almost falsetto-type voice. They say he calls himself Flash, and he's known for freeloading off friends and for running up large bills on their telephones. Police took these pictures of Johnson in 1987. He's been found guilty before for assault on his girlfriend. Police say he has contacts in Florida, California, and Ohio, so he could be in one of those states. If you know where Richard Johnson is hiding, call us at 1-800-CRIME-91. A little girl is waiting for justice. Last week, we showed you the story of a 13-year-old girl who was sexually assaulted. We wanted to share Emily's story because she was so courageous in speaking out about her ordeal. A lot of you called our hotline and told us you were also touched by Emily's story. Well, on Saturday, Emily's bravery was rewarded with the capture of her accused attacker.
All right, quiet down.
April 1991, Chicago, Illinois.
one of your classmates has volunteered to discuss her statement for the group essay. She has something important to share with you. Emily.
In this class, students were encouraged to tell the group about important events in their lives. Emily wanted her class to know how she was victimized.
I don't think I used to believe it could really happen to me. I sure wasn't thinking about it that day.
Excuse me, do you know where Gerald Street is?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Do you see Will? You don't scream and you won't get hurt.
Police say Richard Johnson stole $20, then sexually assaulted the 13-year-old. Emily identified Johnson in a police photo lineup. After you saw the same photo last week, a hotline tip helped North Miami police arrest Johnson less than 24 hours after the broadcast.
Richard, did you do what they said you did?
Mr. Johnson, listen carefully to Detective Clark, please. Proceed.
On Monday, Johnson faced an extradition hearing via television.
What do you wish to do, Mr. Johnson? Waive or contest extradition?
Wade, you got the warrant outstanding tip?
No, I don't even know nothing about this really. But the first one is to waive where they have to come get me in 10 days, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Defendant is waiving extradition. Give me a report date in 10 days, please.
I didn't think he was going to be caught as soon as he was.
For Emily and her family, Johnson's capture is a relief.
I felt relieved that he was caught and that it wouldn't happen again to somebody else if he was put in jail.
When this happened to Emily in the beginning, I thought she was just going to be another statistic. There are all these crimes that take place. We live in this huge nation, and I'm sure the police were much more busy with more, quote-unquote, serious crimes. And so then, when not only did I find out that the police were continuing their investigations and were really going to some length to find this person, that was a surprise to me. And then when it became America's Most Wanted, you know, those very words, I think, gave Emily a message that this was important to everybody, that this person be captured and that she wasn't just going to be a statistic. Even if they didn't catch him, it was important.
But the good news is tempered by apprehension about what comes next.
I thought about the trial. It kind of scares me. The trial kind of scares me because I'll be there and he'll be there and it'll just scare me a little. But I'll be glad that I'll put him in jail.
I think we've been through the worst, really. I think Emily will handle the trial okay. She's come through so much. I think that this will just be a breeze for her.
Emily's courage means another young woman may find justice. Richard Johnson was a suspect in another sexual assault in the same neighborhood. This morning, Chicago police charged him in that case. A lot of young girls were touched by Emily's courage, and they called our hotline to thank her. Some said they'd been sexually assaulted themselves. Remember, if you've been a victim of sexual or physical abuse, tell someone. Tell someone you trust, and don't be afraid.